Now to another big story tonight. After 9/11, the Department of Homeland Security created a network of regional offices called fusion centers, and there's one right here in Meridian. The idea was to incorporate local law enforcement into the effort to stop terrorism, but some say it's just keeping track of law-abiding citizens. Tonight, in an On Your Side investigation, I look at the good and bad of the Idaho Fusion Center.
She has been through a tremendous, horrific ordeal.
When Hannah Anderson went missing 2 years ago and was rescued in the Frank Church Wilderness of No Return, a fusion center helped coordinate the effort.
I was able to immediately call an FBI agent and say, we have something here that we probably want to look at.
Sergeant Dave Neth with Idaho State Police runs an Idaho Fusion Center out of the State Patrol headquarters. He says the impact of a few desks and computers can be huge.
Be a clearinghouse of the information for law enforcement, for criminal activity.
The Canyon County Sheriff thinks it's important enough that he pays for part-time staffers in the Fusion Center.
It really helps us have a finger on the pulse. Tremendous benefit to law enforcement, and quite frankly, even from a national security standpoint.
But our own federal government disagrees. A 2012 report by the bipartisan Senate Subcommittee on Investigations called fusion centers a clear waste of time and money. The 141-page report calls the centers pools of ineptitude, waste, and civil liberties intrusions. The committee found fusion centers often produced irrelevant, useless, or inappropriate intelligence to Homeland Security. But much of the information was kept regardless.
When we break it down, it's over 800,000 operatives, government operatives across the country that are essentially centralizing information on all Americans in the guise of trying to find information about terrorism.
We have the analysts, we have the phone line, and our analysts are good at taking in those tips, vetting them.
The Senate report indicated analysts didn't get the training needed to be effective at vetting possible terror issues. How extensive is that training?
It's either 1 to 2 days, depending on the level that you take of it.
But is that enough to vet thousands of suspicious activity reports a year? The Senate report said no fusion centers had come up with significant information on terrorist activities since they were started in 2009.
Government reports show that they really haven't been as successful, and the information that they're gathering really has not been as useful as well with regards to their intended goal.
The ACLU says fusion centers are an opportunity for the federal government to co-opt local law enforcement in an effort to do what the CIA is not allowed to do.
It's moving in the direction of domestic surveillance to the level that we have never seen before.
Back at the Fusion Center, they see it a different way.
We work with Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and FBI. We don't do anything with the CIA. Everybody's on the same team. We care about Idaho. We care about the safety of the people in Idaho.
I think that the moment we begin to become less concerned about these fundamental separations and protections that we have against the government is the moment that our own personal freedom, begins to be sacrificed.
There are 78 fusion centers spread out across the United States. No comprehensive changes have been spelled out to improve their performance since that 2012 Senate report. The ACLU says the key is transparency, which can be incredibly difficult when the Department of Homeland Security and even the NSA are involved.